Hey, good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Ryan Weiner, and this is the Ryan Weiner Podcast. Here, we're going to explore everything that there is about the questions of existence. So I hope that interests you. Please go ahead and hit that like button and hit the subscribe button so we know, YouTube knows that we're here. And today, our guest is a gentleman named Vladimir. And Vladimir studied meditation under Sadhguru and some other different Russian mystics. And was able to really experience direct connection experience with Source or God, however you want to put that, and has decided to share his story so other people can try to experience the same things. Vlad, if you want to take it from there, just tell us your story.
Oh, hello guys. Nice to meet you. Thank you for inviting me. Really appreciate it. Like, I'm sorry, my English not so good. But I will be really great.
Your English is
Try my
excellent.
best. Try my best. Okay. Yeah. Um, I'm sorry. I didn't start meditating under Sadhguru. I was just meditating for many type of techniques since 2018, I guess. So. Yeah. Um, my story generally about trying meditation for many years, right? Uh, like 5 years I tried meditation, like since that time. Um, and nothing really worked for me, just nothing. And of course, I really wanted to experience something because I was studying religion so much. So like like everyone like we're reading the Bible, Old Testament, New Testament, and so many people really passionately believe in Jesus, right? And we're like Christian countries. Russia is Orthodox Christian, America is Catholic, Protestants. I don't know if that's it. Say correctly, but anyway, we're Christian people. We believe in Jesus, right? And I was really like passionately wanted to really explore the God because everyone were telling like spirituality, transcendence, blah blah blah, like something. But what is that actually? Just tell me, what is that? What is something transcending? I don't know. So many people was martyrs, right? Yesterday I watched the video on YouTube about the martyrs and well, for what they died, just the faith to about what? About heaven and hell like that. And about this all the story, Adam and Eve, but how can they prove that? Like I want to feel something that will God will how to say approve this believing because you cannot just read the books and just believe, like just trust like some book, right? So I started to study like long time ago. First, I just felt like this material world is not enough, right? So I'm making money, I have a girlfriend, I have everything, like I have a flat in the center of the city, everything's fine, but something really deep inside of me, I had just a hole like this. Nothing really satisfied me anymore. And I recognized I really need some spirituality. And at that time, I just started crying, like something really was wrong with me. And I started to try to meditate, like, as I said before, 2018, right? And I found some guide on YouTube and like some like articles about it, and I started meditating like 1 year, 2 years. I tried so many techniques, right? And nothing really works for me at that time. Just nothing. And I thought, wow, how that like the guys, like monks meditating, they achieve enlightenment, they see something like maybe future and the past, they can travel the space or something. And by the way, I have a friend, he's doing hatha yoga. He went out from his body and he told me like I was like the whole universe itself and I was just breathing like through like I'm in the universe, big bubble. I was like, wow, how did you do that? They just I did yoga, blah blah blah. It's like, whoa. I wanted the same. I wanted to experience something really transcendent. Like when you're reading, you like operating by your mind, right?
Hmm.
You're just thinking about something, but you don't feel anything. Maybe you feel something, but it's not something. It's like human feelings,
Yeah.
human feelings, right? So like, you can cry about like, Jesus, right? He died, but it's just just good story, right? But I know me, I respect this story, but I mean, it's just a personal story. But so I started to meditate. Nothing works like until 2022. Before all this, no, I'm sorry, it was 2023. After like Russian-Ukraine war start. After that, like I decided, hey, I need something really heavy. So I started to try like in these rooms, try to do all rituals from all of the religion because I was studying Kabbalah, yoga, Buddhism, Orthodox Christianity, Judaism, everything. And I started to do like all these rituals from different religions, like from like Christianity. I started to pray like Lord prayers. I just started to do things from the yoga, doing like and sharing food before you eating like special ritual when you're cooking for God first. And like I was just doing all of these things, and I was thinking, oh, maybe it's not enough like that. And I thought, oh, maybe how about meditation? Because I did meditation for 5 years. It's nothing works. And I thought maybe in this time it's gonna work. And I found just guided meditation on YouTube from the guy. He's a Russian monk, but he's yoga guy. And his name is Dada Sadananda. And he have many videos about meditation, about breathing and a lot of stuff. But he has like 30 minutes like video advice for new people like who just only started meditation. And I opened this video and he said, just sit, imagine you're in a good place, nothing is distracting you, and just start to repeat this mantra, Babanam Kevalam, Babanam Kevalam, Babanam Kevalam. And I did the same, like he said. I was sitting here, like um, near this sofa on the surface, and I was like, okay. And I started to do like he said, and I started to repeat the mantra, and I closed my eye, and suddenly I met myself in a space. So, and that time I was reading Vedas. You know Veda.
Hmm.
It's about Krishna and like and Shakti and all of these Hindu deities. Suddenly I started to see, I was repeating this mantra all the time. And suddenly I started to see myself like in a lot of position, in like sitting in a space, this wide, vast space in the space, I mean.
Yeah.
And like my spine was like this, in my legs here, and Krishna's spine was like that. We were together sitting in a lotus position like that. And we started spinning together. And I was just watching it and I was just repeating, whoa, whoa, something really started coming like that. Feeling like something's coming. And after like 10 seconds, we just disappeared in space. And suddenly, like my face come up to me like that. My own face, and it was my doppelganger. I was like, wow. But I still keep continuing to repeating this mantra, Baba Nam Kivalam. And that face, I'm in the beard now, but this face was without a beard, but it was still me in some different clothes. And this face was just like smiling at me like that. I was like, whoa, what's that? Like, was really strange. Like, but really, like, curious and happiness at the same time, nothing scary like that. And like, whoo, and that time, wow, it was like this feeling, like a real, I don't know, like, I cannot explain, like, when your real parent come,
Mhm.
like a God, but he was not in some image, he was just a feeling inside of me. And this feeling was like absolute. And he showed it, and from that moment, I started to see images, like, it was our planet in space, and I was laying down near to our planet like that. like I'm in a sofa. And he said, "Oh, this is you. You are the spirit, and this is your favorite planet to be, Earth. And now you're here in this body." And I said, "Wow, wow." And he told me like, "You can go another planet, you can travel in other dimensions, you can be wherever you want to go, like because it's so many worlds exist. But I'm always uh, waiting you home, my child, like that." And I was so crying in that time. It was the most good feeling which I ever experienced in my life. Of course, maybe you watch the many NDE videos, many of these like transcendent experience videos, and everyone saying they feel really love. And this love, I already said about this many times in other videos. You cannot compare this to anything else. Like even the mother who carrying the child who just born like 10 minutes ago, and she will look at him with the love because I have a son. I saw my son when he was born for next day. This love it cannot be compared to even this. This is a billion times more. And he's showing you like you are the most important thing for him. And he just like sending me this mm, feeling that I'm the only beloved child for him. Of course, we are all, but when you like communicate with him, it's just like you feeling absolutely protected, absolutely loved, absolutely important. And I was crushed by his love like that. I was like, oh, like I want to be forever in this state of mind like this. And and that time I had like thing like I really want to confess my sins, right? Because my most biggest sins was about like with cheating with girls, right? Some girlfriends in my life. I dropped them many times, and I was broken girls' hearts like that. And I dropped the girl who was pregnant like that. I made her pregnant. I dropped her, and I made a really big scene. And everything was okay, but mm, I mean, with her health, like she like took some pills. It was just 7 days of pregnancy. It's not gone really bad situation, but still, it's really bad. And I thought, oh my God, like I did so many bad things, and I really want to confess my sin. Please, God, can you confess me, please? Like, and he told me, like a child, like sin doesn't exist like this. And I was like, what? Really? And he said, yes, really. And I said, how can it be possible? Sin doesn't exist. Like, and he said, like a son, this is the human conception. A human creating this conception by their brains, they judge, they like thinking in different ways, like, but I'm not about it. I'm not like that. I'm not judging. And you're innocent, actually. And I was like, oh, wow. I was like, really? He said, yes. I said, wow. I just asked him like 2 times.
Yeah.
And oh, and I said, how I how I should live after this enlightenment. That and he said, you already know. And yeah, I remember information about like in the Veda, like what thing are you focusing? For example, you're focusing on the cars or like some animals, I don't know, anything. You're focusing, this thing becoming bigger for you, a bigger event like that. For example, I hang out so much with Armenian people, and I went to Armenia, actually, like the country, and it's working like this. So, if you want a good thing happen in your life, just spend the time with good people. Where like saying the good things, doing the good things. Don't spend the time with people like doing a crime or something like that. And yeah, it's working like this way, and our brain is like radio and so many frequencies. and you can just tune yourself for the good things, for bad things, for like mixed things, something like spiritual things, materialistic things, like anything. And I said, yeah, oh yeah, I knew that, of course. And after that, he told me everything like stopped. This feeling of love, where like everything was ended. I was like cry out completely, like because I had like 2 rivers of like tears from my eyes, uh, because it was like absolute, like absolutely most amazing thing in my life. So he said, "You will obtain absolute wisdom in this life." I said, "Well, what's that?" He said, "You'll know like that." I said, "Okay." And next, something really bad happened to me. So I was really overworking
Mm.
at that time because I really needed to make money for my family, for my son, for my wife. And I was drinking energy drinks every day and drinking coffee like that. And
Yeah.
I did the same time. I did the exercises a lot, and working at night. And I took the really cold bath, like in these videos on Instagram for 5 minutes. I mean, it's so stupid. Really, guys, don't do that without any preparations. That's really can be critical for your health. So
Yeah.
I went out. I went to the sport yard. I did some workouts. Came back, and I had a heart failure. I was like, oh my god, shock. I called like emergency, like, and some like medical car came for me. They took me to the hospital, and I was surrounded by old people because like this type of thing happening like usually with the old people, 70, 80 years old.
Yeah.
And I was really like I was angry at God, and I was like yelling at him, why, like I was worshiping you like for 6 months, did all these rituals, like I was like almost like a priest, go like every day, like praying and do these souls things. And I discovered the first video, like I just took my phone, and the first video which I discovered on YouTube was about near-death experience. And that video says everything, like what happened to me exactly.
Yeah.
I was- And like in that video, a woman said like she was a drug user. She had a really like crazy life, and her parents were suicided together. Actually, I have a friend, a girl here. She had the same life. Her parents were died from cancer and HIV. So crazy. And she discovered we just did we everything we decided before our birth. And I decided this event will happen to me. And I was like, "Oof."
So the heart issue was kind of a preset thing you had decided to experience in your life.
Yeah, definitely. And um, I was like, oh man, God, you're really interesting. Yeah, and it's not his fault, of course. We just deciding and we preparing all of these things will happen to us. We really want to experience suffering here on this planet. By the way, in this hospital was a guy who was already, how can I say, you're doing like that?
Like Catholic, doing the crucifix.
Crossing. He was just all day staying like in the front of the window. It was like snow like that. And he was crying and doing like that because his health condition was like absolutely bad. He was
Yeah.
like, I'm so sinner. I'm so sinner. I'm so sinful like that. And I came up to him. I said, God, tell me sin doesn't exist. Don't worry, everything's
Yeah.
okay. And he said, really? I said, yeah, yes. Like, man, everything's okay. He was absolutely devastated. His face was like really like hopeless face, absolutely. And I was like, man, this sin doesn't exist. He said, I said, I will pray for you. Like, I still remember him. And when I like went out from the hospital, I came back to my home. I like kind of like I changed my lifestyle. I stopped drinking coffee, like energy drinks. I fixed my circadian like sleep and like waking time. I fixed everything. Now I'm staying healthy, doing exercises, and some, like God said before, some information came up to my mind, like instantly, like, and I understand like that. And it was about, like, maybe you already have seen this video before. God told me actually He didn't create anything. I was like, oh, interesting, like, wow, and like what, like, um, in this, in all religion, you have a conception about concept about a long time ago. God was like bored and he decided, oh, maybe I should create something like human race and see how they would like have a fun with planet Earth. Like, and he created Eden Garden with this girl, Adam, these two guys, Adam and Eve, and this tree of life, tree of wisdom, right? And like Eve, she ate the apple, like gave it to Adam, and they commit the sin, and they were kicked out from the Eden Garden. But he said, of course, it's not. um, like, he explained me what is free will actually. For if you want to have a being which will contain the free will inside of himself or herself, I don't know.
Mhm.
You need to create the equal God like him. And he, of course, created the same being like him, who have absolute will, absolute power to do anything, to create the universe, this planet, everything, like consciousness, some like, I don't know, like law of physics, anything, like. But he didn't create that because in the God dimension, it's already exists forever. It never had a particular time when I'm sorry, when he decided to do that. It was always like that state. And if you see, just you will see the flower. Flower is God itself. And if you zoom like that like you have atoms of flower, right? And these atoms contain everything, all God's, all universe. And you can do like this forever. So it never had like some gods in like a long time ago decided to something like, because time is not exist in this dimension. He never create anything, always was created forever. And we keep traveling with this infinity, and we are infinite gods. And each of us are real God, like you say, Elohim, Allah, or like Holy Trinity, you call that, like, I don't know. Many religions call like different way, like Hindu call him Atman, right? But who came to me if we're all gods? Might be it was my ancestor. I don't know. I'm not really sure about it. Maybe it was the God like that. Maybe it was a Krishna. Maybe it was, I don't know. But it felt like it's like your real parent, like that. Real parent, not like these parents in the earth. Because in the earth we have ego. I will love you if you will do what I want, like that.
Right.
Yeah, if you behave properly, I will love you, like that, like a business structure.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, but it's absolutely like one way life, like it's like I don't know, laser beam, I don't know, which is like biggest is universe, like that. It's amazing. I don't want to say I want to die as soon as possible, right? But really curious about what's gonna happen, what's gonna happen, what's gonna, what the, yeah.
Yeah, that's really, a lot of people that have experiences like that too. They say the same thing. They're like, I'm glad I'm back. There's a lot I'm going to do here, but I can't wait to go back to what I was experiencing beforehand because it's so much better. It's just there's none of the negativity that's down here exists on the other side.
It's like, what can I explain? It's like happiness, but it's so soft happiness. Not this this like comedies when you watch them with the Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
And everyone laughing and like eating popcorn and ice cream. It's so like small, so still like like holy happiness, holy joy like that. It's not this like we have a rude happiness here, like a rude like yeah.
And you're telling, so you come across words or something.
Yeah. It's it's kind of I get yeah. It's kind of somatic maybe. And we have another word for that. It's called moksha.
Yeah.
Moksha when you like
Thanks, Sean.
almost died but you didn't. And I had this after that I tried to I'm sorry. Can I turn off the mic just for a second?
Oh, yeah, yeah, please.
I'm sorry. Like I tried to meditate a lot and achieve this state of mind. But I never could achieve anything like this. But one time was really interesting. Like two times was really interesting. I mean, no, even three times. One time while I was meditating, I was like saying the mantra, Baba Nam Kevalam, and I saw like the comet like flying, like it's like uh, can I say like this comet like I'm hearing comet and she's flying so fast, and I follow this light of beam, and and this comet like pouring me by light like that, and I feel some like energy I cannot explain what was that like that. But my like I had the goosebumps and I felt like oh I'm dying like right now. And I heard like phrase from like and he said, I do everything for you. And I was like continue this mantra. It was flying so fast. Like, like that. And I feel, oh my God, I will die right now. And I have to stop like that. And I stopped and I like that. Because I felt, hey, I'm gonna die right now. It's so good like that. I will really die if I will continue. And I stopped. And see these things, I will show you this.
Like the snow globe, yeah.
Yeah, snow globe. I really was curious about how heaven looks like, right? And in other podcasts, like I told to another interviewer, I saw the heaven because I really was curious about the heaven, how heaven it looks like. And heaven looks like really funny place. Like so many people have houses in like like summer like house or like a cabin in the woods like that.
Yeah.
And I had the same, but when you enter, it's like infinite, and this house contains this like enormous like count of shelves, which have like these things like snowballs, and it's like a snowball. It's a crystal ball on the this how can I say it, this thing on a stand, right? And each ball containing the universe which you were before, and the planet and the place and the character. So you can like put this like spare on your hand and just be and just like zoom and be immediately like teleported to like this world like that. You can observe.
Where it was.
I did this interview and some guy like he texted me through the mail via like Gmail, and he asked me, what do you mean like by like what kind of balls? I said snowballs. And I sent him screenshot about what like crystal ball, and he said, "Oh, I got you. Now I understand."
Yeah.
my wife, she never meditates. She doesn't know anything about meditation, like holy books, like Old Testament, like New Testament. Like, she just read like articles about like Twilight's movie,
Yeah, yeah,
like lipstick stuff and like Instagram. She's Instagram girl, right? She make a gift for like a Valentine's Day. She like give me this thing, this fair.
yeah,
Like I described before, she never saw any Michael. She doesn't know English. And I was like, wow, that's so
of all the
crazy.
things you could have picked, it was what you were just been talking about.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Like it was like I don't know, proving I don't know. And while I was meditating, I saw the guy who can come up to your house in the heaven and took this fair and like watching on your like how you living. And I was meditating and I saw like a few people watching me and they were crying. They was not crying, but they were like, "Oh my God, why he decided to go there? Such a poor guy. Oh my." Yeah. They was like, like that.
Yeah, I've kind of heard that this is like the most challenging environment to be in, and so you have the idea of yes, people are watching you at all times. People can see you, your old loved ones, whoever, all of that. But yeah, I've heard that before. That people look at this and they're just like, oh, man, that is a rough place to be.
Yeah, it's really rough. Yes, of course. Very rough.
So since that experience happened, and and since then, how do you feel like your life has been changed? How have your views changed? What's different now? Are you happier?
If I be really honest, nothing actually changed a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, of course, I'm not afraid of death like before, but mm, just the same. But I mean, I experienced a lot of things. I met the whole new like type of people. I met the people which I will really never discover if will not happen to me before. If this really not happened to me before, I mean, yeah. And I met neurosurgeon who drowned when he was 12 years old.
Hmm.
And he told me so crazy story, but he said, "Don't tell anyone." They will take me to psychiatric because yeah,
There's a lot of doctors now that are having their coming back because what somebody had said was, especially with the near death, up until the 70s, we really didn't have the paddles for shocking people back into life. And like you had said, a lot of the stuff that happens, cardio wise, it's older people. So when those problems happen, a lot of times the people pass away, they don't come back. But we have so many people now today that have an experience like yours, or they actually flatline. They lose their heartbeat completely and have to be resuscitated, and they come back with a story like that too. And that's the same thing everybody says is, I'm not afraid of dying anymore. There's no reason to be afraid of death or any of this kind of stuff.
you know. Um, have you ever watched like Lawnmower Man in
Yes,
90?
I just watched it recently.
Is my favorite movie because since I was a kid, I was like fan of this guy, Jeff Fahey like character. I was like, hey, I want to like do the same thing like this guy did. I want to be everywhere, like he says. And I did that. That's really most funny thing. I did that without virtual reality or heavy drugs. I don't know. While I was meditating to Sadhguru mantras, accidentally, yeah, not just accidentally, I swear, I realized, oh my God, I'm in my wife. Like, I'm in my ex-time. Like, I'm like, she came to this room while I was meditating. She didn't know I'm meditating because she were doing the cleaning like of our rooms, right? And I was like watching her, and I was like, "Oh my God, I'm inside of her," and it was so strange feeling. it was not scary, but it was really strange and funny at the same time. I thought, oh my God, I'm this room and I'm her and I'm my son. But my consciousness was expanded, but like suddenly and disappeared. This effect was disappeared because she interrupt like this session,
Yeah.
not interrupt, distract me. Like, yeah, it was really interesting, and I'm still doing this often, like almost every day. I'm meditating,
Mhm.
trying to achieve something, but I don't know. It's some like randomly happening these things. Um,
Uh,
yeah. And one more thing, it's not a good idea to try to achieve this because many people just can go crazy with it. Like, be careful.
like the Kundalini awakening.
And of course, yeah, and this one too, yeah, you have to be really careful.
Yeah, that's all of the experts on that. All the teachers, they tell people, they're like, take it slow. They're like, let it progress at its own path. If you try to force it, it's never a good result. So, you don't want to force the thing. But it sounds like, I mean, yours has been very positive.
Yeah, thank God it was positive because before in my previous life I was a heavy drug user.
Hmm.
I quit it like 15 years ago, but I was like,
Same here.
I was almost dead, like drug coma, like beaten to death to like another guy who was like overdosing by drugs. So crazy thing happened to me. But thank God I quit. But like this guy trying to awaken clean or something, it's really bad things can happen like that. So, but mm, um, yeah, everything was fine like that. Yeah, I don't want to do like some really heavy things like Kundalini awakening, but yeah, I'm just meditating, saying the mantras, and that's it. To be just calm, I just want to share the love with people. I try to be like say later of love like that. Yeah, yeah, like that. Yeah. By the way, I lived in Japan before. Yeah, I love Buddhism and Shinto. I even like were praying by Shinto Inori. They're like traditional Japanese mantra for Shinto religion. Oh, it's really interesting. By the way, like seems like their country ruled by real spirits. It's like Hayao Miyazaki really like these things are exist like, and they're controlling this country actually. And so many guys told me like it's not only human like operating here. It's like some beings which you are not seeing there out of your senses. You cannot see them. It's like Wi-Fi rays. You know that exists, but you cannot see them.
Your brain is like a filter on some of this stuff. And
Completely.
in some ways, like with bees and other animals can see in infrared and ultraviolet. Humans, we just can't do that. Our body just doesn't do it. So you slip into that get your brain activated in that different way, and you start to be able to be aware of all of the other stuff out there too.
And yeah, I like I told you before, if you're awake something and you see something. By the way, my mother was like doing King Kong. How can I say it? Siga. Like yeah, King Kong, Chinese this technique.
Falun Gong.
Something
Like,
like yeah,
okay.
kind of Tai Chi, yeah. And her master was a dude, a guy who had like two spirits who were helping him to meditate and do something. I was like, what? Spirit? Help me? What? Are you crazy? But she told me, I really didn't want to tell you my son. Because I started like telling you every my experience, like what happened to me. And she's like, maybe I should tell him the same information. And she shared to me, like, while she was doing that, um, she was a member of like Chinese club in here in St. Petersburg, and they did all of this like alchemistry stuff, right? And she told me she started to see like white spheres floating in the rooms, like And she told me they somehow control the people. I don't know in how way, but they control their thoughts and deeds. I don't know how, but
Interesting.
it happened. And that guy a neurosurgeon who drowned when he was 12 years old. He told me before he drowned, this white sphere just pushing him into the river like that, and he fell down like that. I don't know like how it's working. This is the still like secret for me. Like I don't know much about it. Maybe I even know like half a percent, 1%, like
It
zero.
seems to be there seems to be, like you had said, stuff that and this is from other people who have come back from experiences or had conversations with spirit guides, source, whoever it was. There are some things that you pick out to happen, in your life that you plotted out, like the hard issue for you. And then there's stuff that just happens. That's a consequence of the decisions you make. And then there's like that divine intervention that happens every once in a while where, maybe that guy had chosen that drowning experience and him experiencing that white light kind of pushing him into the water or whatnot with somebody enacting that happening.
Yeah, maybe I don't know. Like, and I have my like spiritual master. That guy, he's a 40 years old, and he looks like 22 years old student. He don't have wrinkles.
Which guy is that?
It's my master of yoga.
Okay.
His name is Andrew. He a businessman. He's sleeping 2 hours in a day. He's smoking, eating the meat, sometimes drinking. He's doing yoga. He's like, I have to work. I have
Yeah.
to work. And he don't have any wrinkles. He looks like he's very young like that. I was like, let me see your face. He's like Jared Leto.
Yeah.
He looks very young like that. I thought, how did you do that? Like, oh my God, like, teach me. And he said, of course, but it will take you 7 years. It's okay for you? I said, it's okay. Like,
Sure.
show me. And he showed me 5 like exercises about like dynamic meditation. And he said, it's like will transition you to a different state of being like that.
Mm-hmm.
Really slowly like that. Because like I said before, if you awake some kundalini, it will happen like instantly and you can go crazy. And he said, in a daily basis, he see the things which are normal people don't see. And he feel what another people cannot feel. He can feel like the smells with people will never feel by their senses. Like he said, for example, the smell of something. And he said, I can zoom like that, like a choose of like tone, like it's like grand piano. I can zoom, I can take one like some different like smell. I mean one particular smell and zoom in again and took one more piece and feel that so intensely. Like it's like wow, ooh, whoa. And he said like I can see the beings. And I said, and he said, your house have beings too. They're living in your house. And I was, "Ooh, maybe I shouldn't do that because it will be too much for me. I don't know, but these guys are exists. They're be
Yeah.
like among us. Yeah, but yeah, it's interesting.
Well, let me ask you this. So if somebody wanted to get started, on the meditation path, what kind of, where would you think is a good place from start? What worked for you the best, you think? I know that you've had different teachers and different people, so I don't know if there's anybody that you'd recommend or.
I recommend you just try it yourself. You don't need any teacher actually. First, you have to figure out what you want like that. I will like my like passion was always to discover the truth. What's going on like that? Why I'm here? Why I'm a human? Why I'm born in Russia? Why I didn't born like in Africa or China? I don't know. Why I'm like why I'm here? Why this time? And I achieved that. I was like fulfilled by like I fulfilled my desire to of knowledge, right? But maybe some people want I don't know what people actually want, but I think if they want to experience some like transcending, they just need to find a guru because there's a lot of gurus in the internet. I really believe Sadhguru is a really good guy, cool guy.
He's another guy who looks really young for his age, too. He's like 50
Yeah.
something, and he looks like he's like in his late 20s.
Mhm. Really? Okay, and I mean, like, you just need to find a guru because it's like sometimes you don't have a response. Like, maybe Sadhguru is very popular because he hang out with Hollywood stars, but maybe some person will say that it's not. I don't feel anything like to him. I don't have any response like from my heart like for this guy. But maybe it's the small like really like small teacher in the internet who just have a few views or like some local guy can really like change your world forever. It's really dependent person. But I suggest just to find like when we are a kid, we just listen like what is the most popular, right?
Hmm.
like
Yeah.
like pop music, and when we grew older we just discovered like some rare thing, like some niches, rare niches
Right.
there's to listen. And wow, like our taste is changing, right? It's like same for meditation. You start from like a big guy, big names, and later you can discover just maybe some
Kind of your
really special for you.
Yeah, because there's different techniques for different types of, you want to achieve different things. That's what a guru would say to you. Well, what are you looking to achieve? That it depends. I teach you techniques based on what you're looking to do. So that makes a ton of sense.
I can tell you now about what I achieved from meditation. What kind of perks? Like everyone perks. Like want to become X-Man, That's really bad. You shouldn't do that. It's really can make you crazy. So, but it can happen accidentally, and sometimes it's happening to me. For example, I have a friend, girl from New York, and when we like talking, I suddenly start to see what she seeing right now, like that. And I'm like, whoa, like, you have a red wall? She said, yes, how do you know? She said, I saw this from your eyes. She said, what? What did you say? What did you say? You have like books, like two shelves with the books and like arc in your like between two rooms. She said, yes. Oh my God. It just happened accidentally, right? I didn't like do this on purpose, right? It just happened.
Yeah.
And accidentally, and then boom, and disappeared. Like while the person telling me something, I start to see the pictures on my mind, like, and it's actually our truth. And really funny thing happened with me when I have an older friend. She lives in the Poland, and when we were talking, she's Kazakh, because of Kazakhstan girl,
Mhm.
Asian girl. And we were talking. I said, let's talk only in Kazakh language, right? She said, okay. And I knew only one word in Kazakh, Janin. And it's like darling, like honey in English. And she said something, phrase with 15 words, like blah, 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 something. And I were seeing the pictures. It was like she went out from her apartment. It was some rainy cold, and she looks at the ground. It was a rain on the ground like me in the wind, and after she like came back to her like main door in entrance and came back to flat, and I said, you went out from the apartment, you feel the cold and decided to come back because it's too cold outside. And she said, yes, I said this. And I was like, wow. And I said, let's do it again. Maybe it's accident, right? And she told me again the phrase about the 10 words. And I said, you said you will now make a lunch and prepare for exams. Something like that. She said, yes, it happened. And yeah, I was like, wow, so interesting. But yeah, it's sometimes happening, but yeah, it's not for
No, that's very
happening
cool.
for us.
It sounds a lot like remote viewing, if you've ever.
It's remote viewing,
Yeah.
definitely,
Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah. No, that's so cool. I know both the Anybody who ever studies that that's listening to this, look up on both. It was both on the U.S. side and on the Soviet side. We had like competing psychic spies basically trying to read each other's minds on a regular basis. And now everybody's decommissioned and just doing their own work. But it's so funny that stuff like this is, we find out years later that, our governments were doing it. But yet the regular society knows nothing about it and is told, oh, this is a bad thing. Don't do it because God doesn't like it and all this other kind of stuff. And nothing could be further from the case.
Yeah, by the way, I've heard this information from CIA agent on YouTube.
Yeah.
He also like were telling about remote viewing, where it's about where I like heard this like phrase remote viewing, like, because I didn't know how it's called. Like I just like got why I'm seeing it from this person perspective. What's going? And later I like realized it's remote viewing.
Perfect. It's beautiful.
I discovered. Yeah.
We are coming up on, I want to be time conscious for you here. Do you have any kind of like closing advice or anything that you'd like to let anybody know, or how would anybody contact you if they want to get in touch or maybe study any of the different techniques that you've been a part of studying?
Yeah, if you have my email, you
Okay,
just
perfect.
don't need to describe it. Yeah, I don't have any concrete advice actually. I just wish in love to everybody,
Yeah.
but it's impossible because we live in the planet Earth. We will stop
We're getting
guys.
it. No,
Yeah,
it's getting better every day.
yeah. Of course, like everything will be okay. But we here, like I said before, enjoy the suffering. Like, no,
Yeah.
I'm kidding, but I mean, it will just happen, but everything will be okay at the end anyway. So it's nice. Anyway, nice to be here. Nice to be in this
Absolutely.
world.
Absolutely. But thank you so much for your time. We will close this out here. Hopefully I'll have you on again in the future here, and maybe we'll have some new updates or insights of things that are going on in the world. But yeah, everybody out there, smash the old like button and the subscribe, and we will see you on the next event. Thanks a lot, Brad. Have a great day.
Thank you.